Tonight, KNBC is airing a story about tribal membership. As tribal leaders, we take seriously our responsibility for guaranteeing fairness. After thorough investigations and hearings, it was determined that certain individuals were not legitimate members of the tribe. Our citizenship decisions were upheld by the California and the U.S. Supreme Courts. For more information, we invite you to visit our website to learn more about Pechanga's history and culture. Thank you.
That commercial you just saw was paid for by the Pechanga Development Corporation in direct response to the story you're about to see. We believe that commercial contains misleading information. It's our understanding that the U.S. and the California Supreme Courts denied review of the Pechanga case, so neither high court heard the merits of any case involving Pechanga membership. And the individuals specifically discussed in our report have not been involved in any state or federal court proceedings. This all revolves around an internal battle being waged on Indian reservations across the country. Thousands of Indians are being kicked out of tribes. Critics say it's more about greed than anything else. The tribes say it's about preserving their lineage.
I'm a Senor Indian.
For decades, the Madariaga family called this home, the Pechanga Reservation in Temecula. 89-year-old Lawrence and his wife Sophie built their house after he came back from serving in World War II. They raised 4 children, 8 grandchildren, and 12 great-grandchildren.
I grew up here my whole life. This is my home. This is who I am. This is the only thing I know. Everything I ever wanted to do in my life was for my people here.
This is the ancestral home of the Luiseño Indian tribe, and the Madariagas say they can trace their family roots here back more than 100 years. Okay, what is this we're coming up on?
The clinic. That's my design.
Lawrence and Sophie say early life on the reservation was hard, and the tribe lived in poverty. Today, though, because of Indian gaming, specifically the Pechanga Resort and Casino in Temecula, those days of poverty are gone. The tribe as a whole shares in the profit, meaning each and every adult member of the tribe receives a monthly check worth thousands of dollars.
We used to get $20,000 a month.
A monthly allowance of $20,000.
About that.
The Madariaga family says last August that monthly allowance abruptly stopped. The family was cut off. The term they use is disenrolled. It means Lawrence Madariaga, his wife, and all their children and their children's children were kicked out of the tribe.
They shun you totally. That's what disenrollment means. You're outcasts.
They say the children in the family were even kicked out of the reservation school.
My daughter, who is 5, and my son, who is 8. They escorted them out, and they told us that we are never allowed to come back here.
While disenrollment is still emotionally painful for this family, financially, it has left them scrambling to make ends meet. The Madariaga family alone had 90 adult members, each receiving that monthly allowance of $20,000. $24, $25 million a year. Does that mean the money that's left, the other families get a bigger piece of the pie?
Yes. But our issue here again is our heritage. Our heritage. We always knew who we were. My father always taught us who we were.
So this is all yours in here?
All the family, yes.
The Madariagas are the second family recently disenrolled at Pechanga, bringing the total number at this one reservation to over 220 adults. What relation are you to Paulina Hunter?
Her great-grandson.
The Madariagas traced their family roots back to a woman by the name of Paulina Hunter. In fact, Hunter Lane is one of the first streets you notice as you drive onto the Pechanga Reservation. There's no doubt this 20 acres in the middle of the Pechanga Reservation was deeded to Paulina Hunter. They have the paperwork to prove it from the 1890s, signed by President McKinley. But now tribal leaders question whether or not Paulina Hunter was in fact a Temecula Indian. In a letter dated May 3rd, 2005, the Pechanga Enrollment Committee asked the family to provide documentation to show their family's chain of lineal descent to prove tribal membership. That same enrollment committee even hired a renowned anthropologist to trace the family's history. But they may have been surprised by what he found.
Paulina Hunter descended from Luiseño Indians that were living there at Pechanga in the late 19th century.
Dr. John Johnson has spent 40 years tracing Indian ancestry.
She definitely is a Pechanga Indian, 100%.
So you were hired by the tribe itself.
I was hired.
You found in favor of the family, and yet the tribe still voted to disenroll.
Yes. There's no one today who has more of a right to be a Pechanga Indian than that family.
For 4 months, we tried repeatedly to set up a meeting or an interview with the tribal leaders here at Pechanga to talk about the disenrollment process. Just yesterday, they finally agreed to talk with Channel 4 about their position.
When the tribe had nothing, people didn't want to be part of the tribe. When it appeared the tribe might have something soon, then it seemed like a whole bunch of people came out.
Mark Macaro is the tribal chairman for the Pechanga tribe.
This has never been about money. This is about the integrity of tribal citizenship here at Pechanga. If there was a cornfield instead of a casino, these same challenges would have taken the same path to the same conclusion.
Macaro admits the Tribal Enrollment Committee hired Dr. Johnson as an independent expert, but chose not to go with his findings. Let me tell you what he told us.
Sure.
Paulina Hunter. She is definitely a Pechanga Indian, 100% for sure.
As it was reported to me, there was a percentage figure of estimation, and it was 90%, and it was regarded as non-conclusive. And let me further state that, again, courts have affirmed that not anthropologists, but tribes themselves have the responsibility to maintain the integrity. Only tribes know their own history.
Have you appealed?
Yes.
Do you have any hope?
Not from this tribal council.
As a legal matter, this case is closed, and the courts have moved on, and the tribe has moved on.
Indian reservations are considered self-regulating and sovereign.
It's been abused by the people in power to go after their own people.
And it's not just happening here. Over 2,000 Indians have been disenrolled across the country in recent years.
76 members of my family were disenrolled.
It happened when the casino came. We held a protest, and because of that, we were all disenfranchised, 1/3 of our population.
Gaming. That's for common ground. Greed. Money. It's an endless, huge, huge pot of gold.
Laura Wass heads the nonprofit Indian Legacy Center. She worries disenrollments will destroy Indian tribes.
Except for the forced extermination by the federal government during the 1850s, this is the biggest thing that's ever hit us.
Wass is now drafting new federal legislation she hopes will better protect individual Indians and help set standards for tribal enrollment.
That's a church. That's the old church, yes.
Lawrence Madariaga earned a Lifetime Achievement Award from the tribe just months before he and his family were disenrolled.
They're very honest people here at one time. Now, we call them casino people. They're getting the money. They're not like they used to be.
For the record, the Madariaga family has not filed a lawsuit. Tribal Chairman Mark Macaro says while 2 families were disenrolled, another 3 were challenged and found to be of Pechanga descent. At this time, he says no other disenrollments are pending. The Redding, Rancheria, and Oneida tribes had no comment for this report. And, of course, as always, for more information, you can go to our website, NBC4.TV.
We heard the tribal chairman a minute ago say this case is closed. Is this closed, or is it not over?
It may be closed for this particular family, the Madariagas, because at this point they have nowhere to appeal. However, we're likely to see more of these disenrollments with other tribes.